Joined now by the only active head coach that has beat Nick Saban 3 different times, Gus Malzahn, head coach at UCF. Gus, I bring that up because I was on your guys' campus a few months ago, saw you give a presentation to a bunch of recruits there, and you guys brought that up multiple times about how you have taken down Nick Saban. Coach, how you doing? You guys are in the middle of spring football. We were just talking about it. You got your spring game coming up next Friday. Few practices left. How is life going preparing for the Big 12?
It's going really well. We're a little past the midway point of spring ball. Our guys have done a super job. We have two new coordinators, and they're off to a really good start. So, got a big scrimmage tomorrow that I'm really looking forward to. And then, of course, we'll get into next week, and we'll have our spring game kind of under the lights next Friday night. But so far, so good as far as spring ball is concerned.
Well, you've been at UCF for 2 seasons, right? You've won 18 games. You took down Florida 2 years ago in that St. Pete Bowl, and now you guys are getting ready to move into the Big 12, like I said. I mean, did you guys think you would be this far along in the process from when you arrived at UCF? And then I guess the big thing, why was UCF the spot for you when you decided to get back into coaching after leaving Auburn?
Yeah. Well, first of all, when I took this job, this is an up and coming program, and Terry Mahaj, our athletic director, I was with him. We were together in 2012 at Arkansas State. We won a championship together, and I felt pretty strong that we were going to be in a Power 5 conference, before long, and I just didn't know it was going to be the Big 12. But everything's set. This is a program that I always looked at like if the right guy would get there and stay there and build it, not look as a stepping stone job that could be one of the best programs in all of college football. And now that I've been here for 2 years, I believe even more. I mean, first of all, Orlando, there's not a better place probably in America to live. Best brands in the world are here. There's no NFL team, one of the bigger TV markets in the country. So, everything is set. We've got a young fan base. This place has won way before I got here. They won big. And 3 New Year's 6 bowl games in the last 9 years. They won 2 of them. There's not a lot of programs that can say that. So this transition into the Big 12 is just a game changer. It's the next step. And I'm excited and blessed to be the head coach here.
Well, I want to get into Terry, and you guys are building a football campus here in a second, but you talked about building it. Again, I was up back in January when you guys were doing a junior day, and I think I asked you, you guys have been recruiting, I think, for the past few months with that Big 12 logo on the shirt or the polo or whatnot. Have you noticed a difference when you guys go out on the road and recruit? Is there a different reaction from some of these high schoolers, in the state of Florida and then up in Georgia as well? I know you guys have been very active there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've lost some players since we've been here because we were non-Power 5 and they liked us, but coach, I want to play Power 5. So it's been a game changer. It's opened the door, for us. The last 2 years, we've had the best recruiting classes back-to-back in school history before this. So I think we're even set up even better, but you can definitely just tell the interest in these top recruits now.
What is the philosophy for you guys? What's the strategy there at UCF? Past 2 cycles, you guys have signed 11 high schoolers from the state of the Sunshine State. In each cycle, I think a good chunk of those guys come from right around the corner, within a 2-hour drive. So, previous staff having covered the state, I felt like they didn't put a huge emphasis on their backyard. It's been completely different, since you've come on board. So what is the strategy and the philosophy?
Yeah, I've recruited this state, I think, for primarily the last 12 years. So I know exactly what they have. That some of the best players in America are not just in the state, but in this area. So when we got here, we said, hey, we're going to recruit this state like nobody's ever done. That's the way we're going to build this thing. And we talked about having a state of Orlando and keeping our top players home. And that's been really our goal. And each year we've been chipping away. We're committed to building this thing. At least half or more of our class through high school, developing the guys, and then go in the portal, with certain needs, especially with experience at certain positions, which this place has been very successful with, guys that would transfer in before the portal got here. So everything is set, but we're going to build this thing with local guys, as far as high school is concerned, and really just trying to make it popular for our top players to stay home. And we've been chipping away, and I think we're in a really good spot to do that, this next year.
I love asking this question to guys on your side, because we've had the transfer portal now, or this new age of the portal, for I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years. Do you guys have a certain formula in terms of, hey, I know I want to take this many high schoolers this year, we're going to save this many spots for the portal, or is that kind of an ever changing thing?
Yeah, I think more than half our class, I talked about we got to build it with high school guys. And then, you never know. I think everyone is learning. You learned the last time the portal was open. We'll learn some more this next portal, but you got to be prepared for anything. You got to be prepared to make quick decisions. And if top guys leave, you got to replace them with top guys. I mean, that's just the name of the game, or, experience. You have to have enough experienced guys, to have a chance to win a championship, is what I believe. So, each time the portal's open, we'll learn a little bit more.
I've been reading some of the practice reports coming out of your guys' spring camp, and one of the freshmen, or true freshmen, that I wanted to ask you about is John Walker. We had him as a 4-star kid that played in the Under Armour All-America game, interior defensive lineman. That was a kid that was considering Michigan, Ohio State, and I think the big one was Florida, right? He kept visiting Gainesville, but you guys signed him, got him on campus for a bowl practice. Just what does that mean for your guys' program in terms of such a high-profile recruit, not only, getting across the finish line, but, to beat a school like Florida and some of those Big Ten powers?
Yeah, of course, John Walker's off to a great start. He's as good as advertised. I mean, he's a real player. There's no doubt about that. But he really fit with what we were looking for, keeping our top players home. And he's the highest rated recruit in school history. He is a big factor in making it popular for the next class to stay home. And I really feel like that in the big picture, I mean, that was a huge one for us. And this is a great place. You can really debate or whatever, but I would say the last 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, this program has been as good or better than other programs that are so-called Power 5 and traditional 3 and all that. So it's a new day in our state, and I really feel that you'll continue to see top players, want to come here that has opportunities to stay in state other places.
I think another reason they want to stay, obviously the wins help, but the facilities. Can you just talk a little bit about the new football campus that you guys got coming
Yeah.
out? I think they just put some new renderings out there, and it seems like basically your student athletes won't have to leave the football facilities at all, right?
Yeah.
It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah, it's really neat. First of all, we have pretty good facilities right now, but the fact that we're going to have a new football facility, a lazy river, a pool with a DJ, it's going to be a different vibe than any place in college football. And so we're very excited about the future with that. I know our young players are, and recruits love that. And Terry Mahaj, our athletic director, is one of the top ADs and really in America. And so we're real blessed to have him leading us.
You mentioned your young alumni base, right? UCF's a monster
Yeah.
school. I think if you live in the state of Florida, you know that. Maybe some people outside. How has Knight Nation kind of bought into the whole current NIL landscape? I mean, what's the alumni support been on that side? Obviously, the money's coming, like we said, for the facilities, but just the NIL. I mean, there was photos you guys had the fancy cars at some of the visit weekends. What has that been like? And for you, a guy who's been in this game for such a long time, how has it been kind of, navigating that whole process with name, image, likeness?
Yeah, I think, the teams, you got to be competitive in the NIL world to be able to compete and to have a chance to win championships. So that's a big thing right now. SJ Tui, my chief of staff, the last 2 years is transitioning into running our collective called the Kingdom. So we're very excited about that. I think he's going to do a super job. We got a young fan base that is huge. They're young, they're growing, and, just getting them connected and getting our message out of what the new reality of college football is. But so far, it's been a really good response.
Coach, you lost both your coordinators this offseason. You got 2 new coordinators in. A new play caller was reported, Darren Hinshaw, a guy who played quarterback at UCF. What do we need to know about these coordinators, and how hard is it to kind of, just have such a changing of the guard up top?
Yeah, great thing is both these guys very familiar, been with me before, and I think that's very important. First of all, Darren Henshaw is a wonderful person. First of all, and he's had great success running the football at times, great success throwing the football at times. And of course, last year we were number 16, I think, in the country in total offense. Really brought him in to really the vertical passing game. We've been really good at running. We got to push the ball down the field, and so that was really that to bring him in. But he's off to a great start. And then Addison Williams is a guy that was with me in 2019 at Auburn when we had a really good year, and he was with me the last 2 years here. And so he's a wonderful person too. He's a very smart guy. The players have really responded to him, and both guys are off to a great start.
John Rhys Plumlee, your quarterback, comes back, but I haven't seen this kind of in the national headlines. I mean, he was the transfer from Ole Miss. He's playing both sports this spring. He's playing baseball, right, and
Yeah.
football. What's it like, kind of juggling his workload and he's all over the place, it seems.
Yeah, when I recruited him, and baseball was very important to him, and so he said, "Man, you come here, you can do both." And I mean, he's done really well in baseball. I think he's hit 4 or 5 home runs, something like that. Start center field for him, and he hadn't missed anything football wise. It's amazing he's able to do both. But he's a phenomenal athlete. You can tell that he has grown from a quarterback standpoint. From last year. And last year was his first rodeo really to play quarterback. Because 2 years previous he played wide receiver, and thought he did a really good job. He got hurt late in the season, which kind of hurt, our offense with that. But I think he's in a great spot. But he's off to a good start in baseball too.
Coach, you got a bunch of different arms that have had success not only on Saturdays but Sundays. When you recruit a quarterback, whether it be from the transfer portal or for the high school ranks, what are you kind of looking for?
Well, you look for a leader first of all, a leader that has the ability to rally people to win. I always like a quarterback that won in high school, know what it feels like. Then I believe you got to have a guy that can make plays when things break down. I don't care how good your offensive line is. When you get to the end, you play the top teams. You're going to have a quarterback when things break down, because they will, because the defensive fronts are so good. And that's what I always look for. Somebody can make a good decision when things break down and make a play on their own. And protecting the football obviously is big too.
Bo Nix, he's obviously not now with you, but he was with you at Auburn. When you left Auburn, he posted a nice message for you on social media, thanking you and your entire staff. He had a heck of a season out at Oregon. Did you expect that from him to bounce back? And do you guys still keep in touch? Do you still have a relationship?
Yeah. Bo's family. He always will be. It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, he's unbelievably talented. He's a great competitor. He's everything you want in a quarterback, and he'll be playing the NFL a long time. And he was a joy and a blessing for me to coach.
With you guys moving to the Big 12, another thing I picked up when I was in front of you and you were addressing all those recruits is you kept bringing up the path to the national championship, right? TCU made it as far as they did. We're going to get into an expanded playoff. So, how far away are you guys? What do you guys have to keep doing to eventually, earn a spot, to have a chance to play for it all?
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm here. I mean that's who we're looking for. We're looking for players that want to dream, that want to have a chance to win the whole thing. And a lot of our staff has been there and done that. And this school has been really close, and done a lot of great things too. So I think it's a combination. Then you move into the Big 12, and you just said it. TCU, you saw what they did last year, had a phenomenal year, and so you win the league, you got a real chance. And so that's our goal. Is that's extremely challenging and tough, but that's why we're here. That's why I'm here. It's why our players are here, and we're really looking forward to going to this new league.
Does there sense to be a different energy in the locker room? I know you guys are 6, 7 months away from playing a football game, but do the players, are they acting different? Do you guys doing any different motivational signs up, or they understand?
No, I think they understand. I mean, you just kind of sense it. You just know it. You feel it when you walk around. You can feel the excitement from our fan base. It's different going to this new league. I know our players feel that way. Our coaches feel that way. I don't need to say anything. You just kind of feel it and you know it.
Well, last one I got for you, Coach, because I know you guys got meetings and all that stuff. Red, you are a guy who's been to the Masters a bunch. I was just up there on Monday for a practice round. Are you going this year? I would assume not with the schedule. And do you have a pick for the Masters tournament?
Yeah, first of all, yeah, I love the Masters tournament, but right in the middle of spring, I won't be able to go. But I'm always going to root for Tiger Woods, and so that's kind of who I root for all the time. I like a lot of other golfers too, but what a great tournament, and it's always fun to watch in person, but won't be able to do it this year.
Yeah, and then you teed it up at the Arnold Palmer Invitational Pro-Am, right?
Yeah, sure did. The course was extremely tough. I didn't play very well, but I had a great time with the people we played with.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you having on, talking about UCF, that transition, your recruiting philosophy. Looking forward to, you got some big games coming up, and then you got what, Florida in 2024, correct?
Yeah, looking forward to that one too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.